What up, my friends? I'm at this chill spot that I hike through all the time. Probably drop it in the water. But I was just thinking about earlier. You know, well, I've always kind of been, judgmental, right? Like character assassinating. Sorry, can't get this freaking thing right. Character assassinating, judgmental, like people I don't even know, right? So on my way in here, I come down here to exercise. Beautiful. It's like a gym for me, and I push myself a little more every day. But anyway, it's neither here nor there. But I judge people. Like there was a guy when I pulled into the parking lot, right? There's a guy there doing the rock stacks, right? Like stacking all these rocks on top of each other. And I'm like, this freaking, you know what I mean? Like the first thing that goes to my mind is negativity, and I'm like, whatever, dude's doing his thing, right? Like, but my first thought is like, should walk over there and knock those fucking things, you know what I mean? And then like I decided to leave my speaker in the car because, people get mad about it. So I'm like, all right, whatever. And plus it kind of gives me a little more time to think, right? So even though music makes me think as well. But anyway, so I'm climbing up the first big ass hill, and I'm hustling up there. And I see this young couple with a little baby, maybe a toddler, whatever, nice looking family, everything that I, preach that I like in the world, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. And then I'm thinking like, I hope they don't leave any trash. And then they're spraying each other with freaking bug spray. I mean, they're spraying the baby like crazy with off, And of course, so in my mind, I'm like, what the fuck? Why do you even come into the woods for, But then I start thinking it through, right? And I'm like, okay. I mean, I made a video about it, these Bill Gates mosquitoes out, right? Malaria spreading in those areas now. And, they probably just hear the superficial news on the side. They're probably busy, middle class, upper middle class, mobility type people. And, all they hear is in the news in the background, oh, malaria spreading in U.S. states, blah, 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 right? Because that's what sells advertising, right? Eyes on the news. So like I gotta remember, and like I honestly am trying to be less judgmental, but it's like the first shit that comes into my mind, And I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, why is that, right? It's because it's all stuff that I'm insecure about, right? Even like people who are overweight, but like maybe a little bit less than me, I'm like, I get mad because I know that I allowed myself to become over 300 pounds and to just sit around and feel unhealthy and smoke cigarettes and do drugs. And, so it's, I just got to remember that every time I see something negative in somebody else, it's usually a reflection of myself. And that's why I detest it so much, And also, I was a teenager in the 80s, I'm Gen Xer, we're kind of fucking assholes, but... but I really am trying. Like yesterday, I raised my voice in Home Depot because I was waiting there for a while. It seemed like 15, 20 minutes. It was probably like 3 because of the short attention span that, I have. I'm not going to say we all have, but I have because of, watching clip videos and shit like that, TikTok and YouTube and, but like, do I need to do that? No. Was it a little irritating? I had to wait a little while. Sure, you know what I mean? But I'm no better than anybody else. And, a lot of times I act like I'm this freaking, God's gift to the earth or something, and I'm just a regular person. I'm out here exercising today. I've been doing it every day, I listen to a lot of Dave Goggins and this other guy, Andy Frisella. Frisella, I believe his name is. And others too, right? But so they say, you should exercise at least, David Goggins says, an hour a day, right? So I stepped that up to an hour and a half, right? I was doing an hour a day, but I was like, well, if he says an hour, then I should do an hour and a half because, and he started off over 300 pounds and, he went through Hell Week and all that 3 times and, ranges and all that stuff, or special forces, whichever one is. I don't know, I wasn't in the military, but, I'm 50, I'm about to be 53 years old, But yeah, that was just, it's also, I was thinking that, part of it is mental weakness, right? It's my fragility, right, in my head about not being good enough, right? And to who, so I got to remember that, we all have our shit that we're going through. And, we wouldn't want to trade with anybody else, I'm sure, But it's just, things that go through my head. And I'm like, every day I try to look back. And like yesterday, wasn't successful. You know what I mean? I yelled at a guy, got into a little, I have that issue at Home Depot a lot anyway. But, you know what I mean? Like, I don't need to be that guy, And then, I also worry about, the whole, what being a strong man is, right? Because I was raised by a strong man, but he was very violent. He was addicted to heroin and alcohol. And actually, the alcohol was worse. When he drank vodka, that's when Mom and I would get the fucking get the beatings. You know what I mean? But like, so my whole thought of what a strong man is, male role model is skewed, you know what I mean? And it has been, I'm getting better. I used to, when I was getting fucked up and stuff and, not eating right and not exercising, not even, like, I'm not all the way mentally healthy, I don't feel, or physically, right? But I'm getting there day by day, minute by minute, second by second, right? But like back in those days when I was doing drugs and drinking and smoking cigarettes and just eating shit, I would tell my kids all the time what to and what not to do. You know what I mean? And just that's just fucking words, man, They see now through my actions, that I'm doing things for myself, mentally, physically, and ultimately for them, right? And spiritually as well. And like, they see it, so they want to exercise, I mean, and I push it a little for sure. You know what I mean? I mean, my son likes to play video games and I'm like, hey, I'll facilitate that, son, but you got to get out there. I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, look, I mean, they're Gen Z, right? And I'm like, look, if you exercise half hour a day, go for a half hour first and then step it up a little, because you always got to push it, right? Because otherwise it just becomes mundane and you're not really putting in the work anymore. You get used to it, your body gets used to it. But anyway, I say if you take care of your physical and your mental and your spiritual, you're going to be well past, you'll surpass everybody almost not everybody, but a lot of people in your generation. You know what I mean? You'll be stronger, you'll be physically stronger, mentally stronger, so those are the values that I instill in them today. How you doing? Good morning. And hey, watch it, buddy, your dog just bit me. Excuse me. Oh, yeah? Your dog just bit me. Did she really bite you? Yes, she did. It's all right. I didn't get hurt, but I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, off-leash walking and stuff like that is for people who have full control over their animals, ma'am.
She thinks she's hurting, but yeah.
No, I get it. I get the reason.
Did she break your skin?
No. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? This isn't the first time it's happened down here, not with you.
Yeah, well,
But people have their dogs off the leash all the time, and then, they're like, oh, that's a good dog. I'm just giving you a warning, that's all. This time, there was no harm, no foul.
All right, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay, and I appreciate that. But just, keep an eye on her. Have a good day. Whew, got a little off topic there. Happens a lot down here, people, they got their dogs off leash. And anyway, yeah, just nip me, but still, and I get it. The dogs are trying to be protective of their owners, and I'm a big dude. That's why I usually bring the speaker down here, because that way people hear me coming, But anyway, so what I try to do now is I lead through example with my children, and other people around me, right? And don't get me wrong, I make comments that I shouldn't be making about what people that I care about, are doing or not doing or this and that. So I got to chill out on that. But like, I care about these people, you know what I mean? And like, I want us all to be healthy, healthy, strong, and happy. You know what I'm saying? But my point is that I got to stop being so judgmental, because everybody's going through it, right? And whether you can see it or not. And to lead by example, so I'm leading my family by example. And, one of the examples that I no longer want to lead by is by me being, because what I thought was manhood was being rude sometimes. And like I said, my generation, I was a punk rocker and all that shit, you know what I mean? Like a street kid from the projects, poor, we were rough and tumble back in those days because we raised ourselves, you know what I mean? I was out in the street since I was like 11 years old, even before that in my neighborhood, which was rough anyway. So I got to realize that, being sensitive to those that I care about and even the world outside, isn't me being a fucking pussy, you know what I mean? Especially to those I care about. I'm not saying don't be judgmental about like situational awareness and make good judgments of where you are and when you are and who's around you and stuff like that, But I'm talking about just the general character assassination shit that I do in my head, like the good thing was at the parking lot, I didn't say anything, you know what I mean? It was in my head. That's why I'm making this video, because it bothered me. And, I know that that's something in me, that I got to deal with. All right, this is the part where I run, so I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. Have a great day, everybody. Get out there, get at it, you know what I'm saying? Got to do it.